Greetings, good afternoon. Members of the Technical Committee, Sierra Delta Foxtrot, Submarine Detection Force, greetings, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, and members of the committee. Here we see a BAE industrial plant, as you can appreciate, BAE in Cumbria. The former Prime Minister, probably the one before him, had obviously worked with the Chinese. There you can see Pecras readings of satellite on the reef and photon. They diffuse photon through climate engineering assets, to which go through the window. There you go. They go through the window, and what we observe is people like Bremer, who's a Chinese robot, people like some of the others, were using these type of assets, and they put photons. They embed the photons onto the submarines, the Astute, the Vanguard, many of the others. There's the photons embedded at the front, and also on the other submarine class. There, you can see the Pecras readings. Right. So they're diffusing through the topography of the submarine industrial plant by BAE Systems. The one on San Diego, the Western Seaboard, also BAE Shipyards. The one to where Nimitz was built, same thing. They were doing the same thing. Weren't you, Mr. Bremer? And Mr. Clapper. There. They're photons. They're embedded from satellite, so they come through, they embed into the submarines. Now, my understanding is, what I've gathered, there, that's the number 3. That was on Bremer, the Bremer clone. He's a Chinese robot. So they've placed identification systems as to the cloning assets, and there you see number 2 clones. As for the number 2s, they were taking the submarines and the submariners, and be that from Japan or wherever, they put the number 2s, the number 2 crews. Yeah. So let's say he went to China and he got people cloned, or Japan. They're the workers. Some of them are robots. Some of them are robots. There you go. And that's what you have. So thus it appears the industrial plants are compromised. The photons come through, as you can observe, and they embed onto the submarine. Where's the submarines? We got one on the left hand side, and you got one on there. There you go. There you go. And that's what I think's happened. They then put the other stuff, the photon receivers, to which is what these things, the satellites will pick up on. You see that? The shape given faces? Those are the circuit residue from the satellites. Yeah. Welcome to the truth. David Cameron took the codes to China and Japan, but definitely to China. I think they all went to China because they thought there'd be a nuclear war. So that's how compromised our submarine construction has become. Yeah. That's all I really wanted to comment on. We need to bring back the submarines and check the authenticity of some of those type of assets, which I believe are not just substandard, but indeed partly compromised. Which it looks like what's happened in the BAE Shipyard in Cumbria. There's a sat. You can see the sat coming through, the plume wave coming through, and that's what we have. You have photon, energized photons or EMP, and they embed residue into the given topography of the likes of the submarines. I think that's the Astute class they're working on, and that's in the construction phase. So that's basically what I have observed. There you have it. Thank you for taking the time and considered endeavoured effort to listening. But we really do need to have a new class of assets, aquatic assets, that are more strategically and tactically viable. These submarines, as you can appreciate, members of the committee, have been heavily compromised. That's what I think. I don't think I'm far wrong. And BAE either were part of that cover-up or they didn't realise how advanced the given likes of some of these Chinese assets are. You see what's happened. The Prime Minister went to China to do a deal, and the thing is, I think our nuclear technology has been compromised because he gave the technology to China. Unless he put Chinese technology there, which I doubt, other than to basically steal American and British nuclear secrets, which is what I think the former Prime Minister did. He went to China with the nuke codes, as did the Obamas and Hillary Rodham Clinton. And there you have it. The photons coming through, they're climate engineering assets. So that it's like what heats the nanoparticles. And they basically embed in the metallic ore that gives the position away of our assets. There you go. And that's what we now realise. The substandard crap. So now we're going to have to build a new class of assets that includes a successor, and it probably includes some of the aircraft carriers. All have the same given premise of failings. We enter a paradigm of cultural transparency, technocratic transparency, and rightly so. Thank you for taking the time and endeavoured effort to listening.